Hello everyone and welcome to Old Coin TV channel. If you love exploring the world of coins, their history, value, and rare discoveries, you've come to the right place. Here, we'll share exciting information about coins from around the world, from ancient treasures to modern currency. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, our channel is the perfect place to grow your knowledge and passion for numismatics. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss our latest videos. The period from 1861 to 1865 represents one of the most significant turning points in American numismatic history, because during these critical and turbulent years the United States was completely absorbed in the Civil War, and every part of life, political, economic, financial, industrial, and even the smallest element of material culture, was reshaped by the conflict. Among the objects most affected were precious metal coins, especially the U.S. silver $1 coin, commonly known during this era as the seated Liberty dollar. This coin had been minted since 1840, but the outbreak of war changed everything about how it was produced, circulated, hoarded, valued, exported, melted, and preserved. The seated Liberty dollar's design remained visually stable, but the meaning of that design changed as the country split in two. By looking deeply at these coins struck during the war years, 1861, 1862, 1863, 1864, and 1865, we witness not only a numismatic artifact but also a symbol of national disruption, economic uncertainty, and the struggle for unity at a time when unity was collapsing. When the Civil War began in April 1861, the financial structure of the United States came under immediate strain. Citizens, businessmen, bankers, and governments all reacted with panic, withdrawing gold and silver coins from circulation. Precious metal coins had always been trusted more than paper money, but during wartime, the confidence gap widened dramatically, causing massive hoarding of gold dollars, silver dollars, half dollars, quarters, dimes, and even small copper-nickel cents. The $1 silver coin, because of its high intrinsic value and large physical size, instantly became a target for hoarders and bullion traders. As a result, the moment the war began, silver dollars virtually disappeared from everyday commerce, even though the mint continued producing them in small quantities. This disappearance was not simply cultural, it was driven by economic forces such as rising silver prices, fear of inflation, uncertainty about the future of the Union, and a general expectation that paper money might collapse. Thus, the silver dollar of 1861-1865 became a coin that existed more in vaults, hoards, and hidden storage spaces rather than in the pockets of everyday citizens. One of the most extraordinary stories of this era involves the 1861 New Orleans seated Liberty dollar, which is unlike any other coin in United States history because it was struck under three different governments in the same year. When 1861 began, New Orleans was still a federal mint. Early in the year, Louisiana seceded from the Union, and the mint operated briefly under the authority of the state of Louisiana. Soon after, the same building was taken over by the newly formed Confederate States of America, and the mint personnel continued striking seated Liberty dollars using the same dies, the same equipment, and the same facilities. Although the design on the coins did not change, the political authority behind the strikes did, making the 1861 one of the most historically charged coins ever produced. Today, numismatists attempt to estimate how many coins were produced by each of the three authorities, but because the designs are identical, the separation is mostly theoretical. Still, the existence of a U.S. coin partially struck under Confederate authority is one of the most fascinating stories in American numismatics. It symbolizes the split in the nation, and the fact that a U.S. symbol of unity continued to be produced by a seceding government is both ironic and historically powerful. The design of the seated Liberty dollar between 1861 and 1865 remained the classic form created by engraver Christian Gobrecht, a design filled with symbolism that grew even more emotionally intense during the Civil War. On the obverse, Liberty is seated on a rock, holding a pole topped with the Phrygian cap of freedom, while her other hand rests on a shield with Liberty inscribed across the horizontal band. Though this imagery had existed for decades, during the Civil War it took on a deeper emotional weight, because the idea of liberty itself was at the center of the conflict. Liberty for states, liberty for the enslaved, liberty for the Union as a whole. Meanwhile, the reverse shows an American bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows, war, and an olive branch, peace. This dual symbolism perfectly captures the tension of the era, a nation forced into war while still holding on to the hope of reconciliation. Thus, although the physical appearance of the $1 coin remained unchanged, its meaning evolved dramatically, gaining layers of symbolic importance for both the North and the South. From a technical standpoint, the coin retained its 90% silver, 10% copper alloy, weighing 26.73 grams with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters. The edge remained reeded, and the mint marks stayed consistent with the era. Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, while New Orleans coins bore the O. However, the number of coins produced each year changed drastically. As the war progressed, the mint found itself receiving fewer silver deposits because mining output was disrupted, private individuals stopped depositing metal, and international silver flows were affected by wartime instability. Consequently, mintages became extremely low in years like 1863, 1864, and 1865, making coins from those years scarce both in circulated condition and especially in high grades. Many of the coins that were produced went directly into storage or were exported overseas for bullion purposes, meaning that the already low mintage numbers do not reflect how few coins actually remain today in collectible condition. The war also created a broader national coin shortage. By the end of 1861, all gold coins had vanished from circulation, followed soon after by silver coins and even the smallest copper-nickel cents. People used alternative mediums of exchange such as fractional paper currency, issued in denominations as small as 5 cents, or private merchant tokens, or even small metal, postage-stamped cases, containing real stamps. Precious metal coins like the silver dollar became artifacts of savings rather than spending. They were locked away in safes, buried underground, sealed in containers, or shipped abroad. The U.S. government even suspended specie payments in 1862, meaning that paper money could no longer be exchanged for gold or silver. This single event fundamentally changed the economic role of the $1 silver coin, transforming it from an everyday monetary tool into a frozen relic of the pre-war financial system. By the later years of the war, especially 1864 and 1865, the presence of $1 silver coins in circulation was essentially non-existent. They had become a medium for international trade, bank reserves, or long-term hoarding. Many were melted or lost through wartime chaos, transportation disruptions, and increasing exportation. The scarcity of silver dollars in daily life became so severe that many Americans, especially in the urban Northeast, went years without seeing a single silver dollar handed across a counter. The government, overwhelmed by the financial pressures of war, focused on printing more paper currency, including greenbacks and fractional currency, rather than attempting to reintroduce silver coins into circulation. When the war finally ended in April 1865, the nation faced reconstruction not only politically but economically. Silver dollars did not immediately return to circulation because the post-war financial climate remained unstable, and silver prices continued to fluctuate. Many Americans still did not trust paper money, but they were also reluctant to release their hoarded coins. This meant the seated Liberty dollar of the Civil War era continued to live a private rather than public life. Even when silver production increased in later years, the coin never regained its pre-war role and was ultimately replaced by new monetary systems by the early 1870s. Yet the coins struck during the war years, especially the 1861 O, the low mintage Philadelphia issues, and the few surviving high-grade examples, are today some of the most historically important and emotionally powerful coins in American numismatics.